those things were so simple, and you can't even imagine how many people would not be able to answer those questions. Like, which credit card do I pay first?
Yeah.
They're like, well, I'll just pay all of them. No. You mentioned you had a financial planner. So since you are someone that is a conduit, and you're someone that you mentioned is willing to ask the questions that other people are not willing to ask, if we talk about financial planning or debt, what are, let's say, the top 5 questions that you think people should be asking that they may not ask? In other words, like the simple questions that, you know, you're willing to ask, and that I'm pretty sure everyone that's listening today is like, okay, what do I ask? Come on, Kelly, tell me what to ask that I'm not really willing to ask, or that I don't even know to ask. What would you say?
Well, one, I think, is just even understanding your bank accounts. Like, do you have a TFSA? Do you know what that really means for you? Do you have a plan to retire? Like, what happens if you're laid off? Like, what happens if you're hurt? Do you have insurance if you're hurt that you could survive for a while? Like, are you really thinking like, and like, is your have you combined your assets with your partner? Should you keep some of them separate? Like, just stuff like that I don't think people, and even like knowing, how to pay off debt. If they have some debt, like, do I start with the biggest debt or do I start with the smallest debt? Like, which way do I go to try to get rid of it? Do I have 1 credit card or 2? Do I need 3? Is that going to wreck my credit? Like, I just think there's basic questions that people should ask and are scared to ask it. But like I said, I ask those questions all the time because
that was amazing, by the way.
Was it? Okay.
Yes, because those things were so simple, and you can't even imagine how many people would not be able to answer those questions. Like, which credit card do I pay first?
Yeah.
They're like, well, I'll just pay all of them. No. Yes, you pay all of them if you can pay them off all in full, certainly.
Yeah.
But if you can pay them off in full, what is the credit card you'll pay first? People are like, I don't know, the one with the higher interest?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yet 4 seconds ago, that's not what you were doing. Yet just doing that might save you $50, $100, $200 a month in interest.
Yeah.
Crazy. And that's super simple.
Yeah.
I had a client, and this is a crazy story. In fact, I shouldn't say a client. I had many clients over the years that had this situation. And to this day, you're going to freak out. To this day, I still can't believe that the answer is not clear. So here's the situation. They had about $10,000 in debt on their credit cards or lines of credit, personal lines of credit. And they had $12,000 in their bank account. And they'd call me and say, Ryan, I need to refinance my home because I have these debts. And I tell them, well, you have $12,000 in your bank account. You have $10,000 of debt. Take your money, pay off all your debt. No more debt. You got $2,000 left in your bank account. No need to refinance. No need to pay the fees. No need to pay the notary. No need to do any of that.
Yeah.
And it's done. Like, well, if I do that, I won't have any money left. And then sort of like silence. And I'm like, I'm sure I'm being punked or something. Ashton Kutcher is going to jump out of the back of a couch and be like, gotcha. And I'm like, there's like a 5-second silence, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, but you will still have access to the money, right? That's what you're scared of. Well, I won't have access to it anymore. Yes, you will. On your cards. If you need to use it, you could still use your cards, but then I'll get into debt again. You're already in debt. And it just seemed like it wasn't connecting, and which sort of raised the question, well, this is probably why you guys need to go into mortgage detention, to be in a detention class to sort of learn these things, that this is a simple, just take money, pay off credit card debts. And they weren't doing it. And so if they're not doing that, imagine what they're really not doing.
Yeah.
I mean, you did a rapid fire. I said 5 questions. You shot like 19 questions in under 15 seconds. You practiced before, didn't you?
I did not.